Ladies and gentlemen, the culmination of the Glow Racers line might be upon us here shortly. Now, while there have been some leaked listings possibly confirming that Sally, Ray Reverham, and a couple more next gens will be coming out, I'm not confident any of those will see the light of day. I thought it was even a little precarious that Jackson Storm and Ramone would come out and hit store shelves. Now, am I predicting, do I want them to be canceled? Absolutely not. I think it'd be awesome to see a Sally Glow Racer. Like, how random, but also I'm sure she'll glow great because she doesn't have any decals. Like, I'd love to see that. Don't get me wrong, but they haven't been selling well at stores. Like, why would retailers really want to order more when Dan Garcia, Chase Raceland, and Ryan Inside Laney over there have been peg warming out of everyone's ears, even more so than the main characters over here, right? So I feel like the future of the line is a little up in the air. Mattel always likes to cycle through these expanded universe lines. Not one ever really sticks around all too long. They'll cycle them out and then bring in something new. You know, we've seen that historically now over the last 10 years. So we'll see what happens. Let's just enjoy Jackson. And of course, I'll be reviewing Ramone here in a few days as well for what they're worth. Like I said, they look really nice. But I will say though, have we started to realize that Mattel likes to release Glow Racers of the same color at the same time? I really noticed it when they did Chase Raceland and Fillmore, who are the exact same shade of green. You go back one, I mean, McQueen, Mater, they're both red and yellow. The yellow on Cruz is pretty much the exact same yellow on McQueen and Mater. And now here with Ramone and Jackson Storm, that shade of blue is the exact same. So it really raises the question, like, and it might be very practical, like, hey, like, we have the blue glow paint right now, let's use it all up and get rid of it. And then, you know, we'll try and do, I don't know, 2 more cars that have similar paint schemes next. Or maybe that won't happen, like I said. But I thought that was kind of interesting. Obviously, it doesn't really apply to these ones over here who, like Dan Garcia and Ryan coming out at the same time. So my theory isn't perfect, but there might be something to it. Let's dive in though. I did order these off eBay while they are hitting stores in Canada, which is great. And also Target stores here in the US. I'm going on a trip for about 2 weeks to Spain here shortly. So I wanted to review some new stuff, get some new stuff in because there really hasn't been anything. So during that 2-week span, it's not just like custom reviews and whatnot, and add a little spice to it. But yeah, going on a little trip with a friend here. It's going to be great. Very excited about it. We're going to see what kind of car selection they have over in España. But yeah, Jackson Storm, I love the name tag. You know, I love just seeing these old style blisters and not the streamlined blisters that we get everywhere else with just the name printed on the card. You actually have a name tag within the blister. I think that's great. I don't love the fact that you don't get unique artwork with these, but that's just kind of how it goes with these Expand Universe lines. Glows in the dark. We'll obviously be testing that out. And on the back here, you got Ryan Inside Laney, Lightning McQueen, Ramone, and Chase Racelet. Ramone looks awesome. Again, can't wait to get him out of the package as well. Now, to get really nerdy here for just a second, I'm honestly not sure who else is in the case with Ramone and Jackson. Like, I'm sure maybe McQueen. I'm sure, honestly, all 4 of these are in the case, right? Well, obviously, Ramone is. But I would venture to guess that McQueen, Ryan, and Chase are therefore also in the case with Jackson. So did they update their card backs to reflect like Ramone and Jackson? I don't know. If they did, which is what they've done historically over the last few waves, you'd have, if you're a completist collector who collects all these package variants, you're going to have 3 more in addition to buy with Jackson and Ramone. You'll have McQueen, Ryan, and Chase all on different card backs, which does get a little crazy, but it is kind of fun to see the evolution of the packages like that. But I'll be right back with a Jackson all opened up. Here is Jackson all opened up. I think he looks phenomenal. This light blue, it's not even really like a, I guess it is kind of like a sky or a baby blue, but it looks a little more neon than that on top of the black. I'm really excited to see how this guy glows, but in terms of just paint job, I think he probably is one, if not the best glow racer. We'll obviously examine a little bit more in depth here, but they didn't change up the paint job a ton with Chase Racelet or Ryan Inside Laney back there, but with Jackson here, they really did. Now, before we get into it, I do want to show here on the screen Carrera Go's attempt at Jackson Storm that I was very close to buying and probably should have, but I kept thinking Mattel will do theirs soon. Mattel will get theirs out soon. And, a year and a half later, here we are, but they got theirs out right away when the Glow Racers line debuted a year and a half ago. I think it looks really good as well. I think they did a nice job with it. You probably wouldn't even know that that is a Carrera Go car had I not told you. I think the stock image could fool you for sure. Now, we're also going to be comparing him to the plastic version from the playset in a little bit, but I just want to focus on the diecast here. He deserves his own attention, his own due diligence. I will say I'm not big on how far down the eyes are, but that just seems to be the trend now with Jackson Storms. You saw here with the GRC version of Jackson Storm, they really kind of squished that eye plate down, and it seems like it's even further down with the Glow Racer version here. I'm not a huge fan of that. It makes it really kind of hard to focus the camera on the eyes. That's where I always go for in terms of focus, and usually the camera kind of picks up a face, but not really a face there. He's hiding in his own body. So, although I like that they've changed up the expression from the initial, burrowed eyebrows there that he, iconically has had, I'm not big on this one either. But like I said, I adore the blue accents here. So you got the blue splitter there. You got blue around the headlights. Blue hood with igniter. Liquid adrenaline there on the hood. 2.0 on the roof. I really love how they weaved in the light blue with the black. Even right here, you got black stripes, and it goes right back to the blue. Just thinks it looks really seamless. And this is the Piston Cup champion version of Jackson Storm. Of course, at the end of Cars 3, well, not even fully the end, but at the Florida 500, he had won a Piston Cup by then, so he added this decal to his paint job. And while Mattel has never done that Florida 500 version of Jackson specifically, this logo has popped up several times on other diecasts that canonically would have occurred after Cars 3, like the NASCAR version here as well, which you can already tell is way clearer decals coming from Vietnam. This is a Thailand release, and yeah, those contingency sponsors are a little rough. Combustor, Carbon Cyber, Synergy, yeah, not great there. You got the igniter text there at the bottom with the arrow indicating where to lift them up at. You got the blue tires here. Made in Thailand, T38A. Storm logo. Hurricane logo, as we all found out. The S is indicative of that with all the little mini almost S's inside there. I feel like that's what they always kind of were going for. Well, I guess on the original version, it's more of just a matrix-y. But I feel like, I guess I always thought that there were mini S's inside. But maybe I'm just off on that. But yeah, it's always a cool little design there. I feel like it's underrated how creative having this S was. It's something that Pixar, they needed to do in order to match Lightning McQueen's Bolt. And I think they did a great job with that. You got the blue gas cap there, blue wing, plastic piece, but again, nice color, same color as the diecast. And on the back, igniter, liquid adrenaline, champion. Wonderful. Yeah, that looks clean there on the back. The yellow racing stripes, the rookie stripes, I should say, always obscured the bumper for Jackson Storm, in my opinion. This just looks way cleaner. Big fan, big enthusiast. But yeah, Thailand definitely makes some of the decals look a little blurrier than they probably should be. But yeah, really nice. I'm a big fan of this guy. I do think he's the best. I've concluded already in my mind just because you look at some of these other paint jobs, and, McQueen's nice. I think it's a good reimagination, I guess, of the Rust-eze paint job. Cruz over here is completely the same. Like, boring, just a recolor. Don't like that at all. Same thing with Ryan inside lane. I do like him better than Cruz, but same thing. I do love the orange tires, though. Will Rush is a little bit better. You know, they accentuated the grid design on him. I think that looks pretty good, but yeah, I mean, Chase Racelet might be the worst. Again, they just didn't really change up anything. They just recolored parts. And Dan Garcia, they did change up, you know, add a little bit more yellow to him to make him glow a little bit better. So I like that. But with Jackson, I mean, it's not like they're just recoloring or reshading. I mean, they are adding decals and patches of blue that never really used to be there. So I think they really, really knocked it out of the park with him. So he's my favorite until at least we open up Ramone here in a few days. Now, before we test out how well he glows, we have to compare him to a couple other versions of Jackson, starting with the plastic Glow Racer version that supposedly glows in the dark as well. I forgot, because it's been so long, how well he actually glows, but you can see he is missing a few details there with the blue along the headlights there, blue along the splitter. Yeah, blue trim along the fenders there as well, and the sideboard there. But that's what you would expect with plastic cars. Oh yeah, missing all the blue there on the bumper as well. And then, yeah, I'll try and compare them in terms of how well they glow. I do have to say I like the plastic version's expression a little bit better, which is kind of crazy to say. But yeah, I mean, the eyes are just a little bit more visible. They're a little higher up, I think. Yeah, we don't need as much eyelid. So now comparing him to the other new version of Jackson we got this year, the GRC version, which I really like as well, but I think the Glow Racer version's better. Both have really good takes on them, you know, adding a lot of blue and just kind of dividing up the black that has become so monotonous, right? So, yeah, big fan of both of these, but I think the Glow Racer version is better. I know one comparison a lot of people are going to be looking for is the Steel Blue Jackson Storm. You know, obviously with the name being Steel Blue, he is metallic blue essentially. And yeah, it looks really cool. Really weird release though, let's be honest. Like only released in Malaysia. Like how strange is that? Clearly something was up there. Something was wrong. Mattel squandered it. I don't know what the idea was supposed to be, if it was supposed to be a promo or what, but underrated release now. I only have prototypes open. I think I do have one package, but I have like 3 of these stamped coated prototypes, so that's just what I use. I might open one up eventually. I probably should, to be honest. Here you have your silver Jackson Storm of 2020, which is a really nice one as well. Those next-gen wheels look horrible, though, with how Thailand painted them. That's a good thing about these. You can't really tell because it's black. It looks a little bit better. They are able to mask their air. You got the NASCAR version, which I really think is weak. I think this NASCAR version of Jackson's bad. The expression's weird. I don't vibe with the silver wheels all that much. This is a poor version of Jackson. I hate to say it, but yeah, I would not mind if they tried to redesign him and release him like metallic in the new NASCAR line, but I doubt they're going to do that. Speaking of metallic Jacksons, here is the Endurance Racer version of Jackson, which is also pretty much all blue. A weird version with the orange wheels, but I think it's a little more creative than the NASCAR version. And see, he already has his rookie racing stripes removed, but he doesn't have the Piston Cup champion decal, so that's a little contradictory there. But leaving the best for last, the racing red version of Jackson Storm, which has this kind of expression here as well, maybe even worse, but the red chrome decals, all of it, just make up for it. Black wing, it just looks so crisp. I love the chrome S logo. Beautiful versions of Jackson we've gotten here over the last few years. They've really done a pretty good job, I'd say, with a lot of Jackson's versions there. So yeah, I mean, what the hell else do I have to say? Nothing really, guys. Let me know in the comments below. I want to know which Glow Racer is your favorite. I know we have to do our glow comparison here, but think about which Glow Racer is your favorite. Chase, Dan, Will, Ryan, McQueen, Fillmore, Cruz, or Mater, or Jackson. And now, let's see how well he fares in the dark. So yeah, right off the bat, I think we can see how well he glows, especially compared to the plastic version here, which is struggling to glow at all. But yeah, the blue components to him are just lighting up the room here. Hood, roof, accents, the wheels or the tires, I should say, just looks great. And because the black is woven in so nicely, it provides a nice contrast. Like, it looks really cool to kind of see like some parts of him hidden and other parts really standing out. I like that. Whereas compared to like Cruz, like almost all of her is glowing. And same thing with Fillmore back here. But I'd say while those might have a little bit more of that glow to them, Will Rush here only has a couple parts. So I think Jackson might be a good happy medium McQueen here. All right, but yeah, I'm really happy with this. I think Ramone will probably be better because he's got more blue surface area to glow. But I'm a big fan of this. I think it looks great. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, and we'll see you soon for the Glow Racers Ramone video.